Ever wondered how to make the perfect chocolate pancake? Well, you're in luck. Today, we're diving into the delicious world of chocolate pancakes. These aren't just any pancakes, but the perfect blend of fluffy, chocolatey goodness that you can whip up in your own kitchen. Understanding the nuances of making these perfect chocolate pancakes can elevate a simple breakfast to something truly special. So buckle up for a sweet culinary adventure. By the end of this video, you'll know the ins and outs of making a perfect chocolate pancake. Before we begin, ensure you have all the necessary ingredients. First, we'll need all-purpose flour. It's the foundation of our pancakes, providing structure and fluffiness. Then, there's granulated sugar for a touch of sweetness. You'll also need baking powder, which helps our pancakes rise and become light and airy. Don't forget the salt. A small amount enhances all the other flavors. Next, we have milk. It adds moisture and helps create a smooth batter. Eggs are also essential. They bind the ingredients together and contribute to the overall richness. A dash of vanilla extract will add a layer of depth and aroma to our pancakes. Of course, we can't forget about the star of the show, the chocolate. We'll be using both cocoa powder and chocolate chips. The cocoa powder gives us that intense chocolate flavor, while the chocolate chips add pockets of molten chocolate throughout the pancakes. With these ingredients ready, we can now proceed to the next step. Scene script. First things first, the pancake batter. The heart of our chocolate pancake lies in the batter. A well-prepared batter ensures the pancakes are fluffy, light, and filled with the right flavors. So, let's dive right into it. Start by taking a large bowl. Into this, add 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. Now, add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This is where our chocolate flavor starts to come alive. Next, add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar for a subtle hint of sweetness. To this, incorporate 1½ teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The baking powder helps to aerate the batter, making our pancakes fluffy. Once the dry ingredients are combined, let's turn our attention to the wet ingredients. In a separate bowl, whisk together 1 cup of milk, 1 large egg, and 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. The butter adds richness and depth to our pancake batter. Now comes the fun part, combining the wet and dry ingredients. Pour the wet mixture into the bowl with the dry ingredients. Mix it together gently, but remember, don't overmix. Overmixing can lead to tough pancakes, and we want ours to be light and fluffy. It's okay if there are a few lumps in the batter. They'll disappear as the pancakes cook. Here's a little tip. After combining the ingredients, let the batter rest for about 5 minutes. This allows the gluten in the flour to relax, resulting in softer pancakes. As for the chocolate factor, we've already added cocoa powder, but let's take it up a notch. Toss in a handful of chocolate chips into the batter. They'll melt as the pancakes cook, creating pockets of molten chocolate. It's like a little surprise in every bite. So there you have it, the perfect chocolate pancake batter. It's a simple recipe, but the result is anything but ordinary. Now that the batter is ready, let's move on to the next stage. Now, it's time to cook the pancake. With our batter prepared, let's turn our attention to the skillet. It's essential to get the temperature just right. Too hot, and our pancakes could burn. Too cool, and they'll take forever to cook. Or worse, they won't cook evenly. So aim for a medium heat setting. If you're using an electric griddle, somewhere around 350 degrees Fahrenheit is the sweet spot. Now, lightly grease your skillet or griddle with a bit of butter, just enough to prevent sticking. A non-stick pan can be a real game changer here. Pour a 1/4 cup of batter onto the skillet for each pancake. You can adjust the amount based on how large or small you want your pancakes to be. Keep in mind that the batter will spread a bit once it hits the heat, so leave some room between each pour. As the pancake cooks, watch for bubbles to form on the surface. This is a good sign that it's time to flip. The edges will also start to look set and a little crispy. With a quick, confident motion, slide your spatula under the pancake and flip it over. Be careful not to splatter any batter, but don't worry if it's not perfect. Even the most seasoned cooks don't always get a flawless flip. Once flipped, the second side usually cooks a bit faster, so keep a close eye on it. You're aiming for a beautiful golden brown color on both sides. If you're unsure whether it's done, you can gently press the center of the pancake with your spatula. If it springs back, it's ready to come off the heat. Place your cooked pancake on a warm plate and repeat the process with the remaining batter. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more pancakes you cook, the better you'll get at judging the right temperature and flipping technique. See how easy that was? But we're not done yet. Scene script. No chocolate pancake is complete without a rich, delicious chocolate sauce. Let's dive right into the creation of our chocolatey delight. The first step in making our sauce is to gather our ingredients. We'll need unsweetened cocoa powder, granulated sugar, a dash of salt, vanilla extract, and a bit of water. Remember, the quality of your cocoa powder is key to a great sauce. Once we have our ingredients, we'll combine the cocoa, sugar, and salt in a saucepan. Stir these dry ingredients together until they're well mixed. Then, we'll add water, a little at a time, stirring continuously. This will help prevent any lumps from forming. Now, it's time to heat things up. Turn your stove on to medium heat and bring the mixture to a simmer. Stir the mixture frequently to ensure nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan. As soon as the mixture thickens to a syrup-like consistency, it's ready. Turn off the heat and mix in the vanilla extract. This will give our sauce an extra depth of flavor. Our chocolate sauce is now ready to make those pancakes irresistible. The balance of sweet and bitter in this sauce is perfect, but feel free to adjust the sugar to your liking. Now that we have our chocolate sauce ready, it's time to bring it all together. Finally, it's time to serve our perfect chocolate pancake, the moment we've been waiting for. The journey from gathering the ingredients to this point has been a labor of love, but nothing quite compares to the joy of serving and tasting your homemade creation. First things first, you'll want to make sure you've got a warm plate ready. There's something about a hot pancake on a warm plate that just feels right. It's like the pancake has found its home. Now, let's talk about the main event, pouring the sauce. We've lovingly created this luscious chocolate sauce, and it's time for it to shine. You'll want to pour it evenly over the pancake, making sure every inch gets a generous helping. The sauce should cascade down the sides, creating a waterfall of chocolatey goodness. Remember, the sauce is not just a topping, it's the soul of the chocolate pancake. Once the sauce is in place, it's time to think about additional toppings. This is where you can get creative. A sprinkle of powdered sugar can add an extra layer of sweetness. A dollop of whipped cream can bring a welcome touch of lightness. And if you're a fan of crunch, toasted nuts can add just the right amount of texture. Of course, these are just suggestions. The beauty of making your own pancakes is that you can tailor them to your tastes. Maybe you're a fan of fresh berries, or perhaps you prefer a hint of spice with a sprinkle of cinnamon. The world is your oyster. To serve, simply slide a spatula underneath the pancake, lift it gently, and place it on the plate. And voila! You've created a masterpiece. The final touch? A fork and a knife, of course. There's nothing quite like cutting into a freshly made pancake. The fork sinking into the fluffy texture, the sauce oozing out. It's a sensory delight. And there you have it, the perfect chocolate pancake. Go ahead,